Hello children. So today we are going to do a very interesting poem, Amanda. I remember when I read this poem once, long before it was came to a text. I was so impressed by it that I went around reading it again because it shows something that most teenagers go through. Not only teenagers, probably as adults we all do it. When we find too much negativity coming from somewhere, when we are unable to cope with stress, we just mentally switch off. That saves us from being in conflict with the person who's addressing us and helps us to stay positive. Of course, we can't do this always because it would be like escaping from our problems, and you know that in life we can't escape always. This wonderful poem is written by Robin Klein, an Australian author who wrote books for children. And I'm sure all of you will sympathize with the thoughts and feelings of Amanda, the teenager whom we're going to meet in this poem. Every child feels that he or she is being controlled, especially during teenage. When you're neither child nor adult, this conflict increases. You always are asked to do one thing or not to do something else. You feel that your freedom is being curtailed. You can just try writing down some things that you want to do, but you're not allowed to do, which you feel is right, but they feel is wrong. Let's get into the poem. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. This often happens, isn't it? Some people have the habit of biting nails. And naturally, the parents will say, no, don't do that. Don't hunch your shoulders. At this age, we often find, teenagers develop the wrong posture. So they sit with their hunched shoulders, they sit slouching. And that's often wrong and they are reprimanded for it. There is a languid emerald sea, where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid, drifting peacefully. What a contrast from the previous stanza. It's so peaceful, a languid, lazy, peaceful emerald sea, so pretty. And there only one person is there. That's very important. The speaker doesn't want anyone else, wants to be all alone. Where the sole inhabitant is me, and I'm a mermaid, drifting blissfully. I'm drifting. I can do as I like. I'm going very slowly there, and I'm very happy. I'm very blissful there. What a contrast from the previous paragraph. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. Again instructions, which I think all of us are familiar with. Have you finished your homework? Did you tidy your room? Are your shoes cleaned? I told you to do it now. Why aren't you doing it? Why is it still lying untidy there? And you can see how a typical teenager's room is. I'm an orphan, roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. An orphan, a child without parents. Maybe this person is so fed up with the scoldings of the parents that for a second she wishes that she were an orphan. I'm an orphan, roaming the street with full freedom to go out whenever I like. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. I remove my shoes and I make patterns in the dust with my feet. So, I'm again free. And I want, there also everything is soft. Then I want a soft dust. I want to go about with bare feet. I want to be free. The silence is golden. I've got fed up listening to all this sound. So I want to be silent for some time. And it's so sweet to have freedom. How nice it would be. Don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda. Will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you, Amanda? This continues. Don't eat chocolate, Amanda. The mother is worried. Mother thinks that she's getting acne. Acne, all of you know, teenagers have those small eruptions which come on your skin, pimples. Many teenagers are worried about that. Remember your acne. So the speaker feels that the acne will increase because of chocolate. And when I am speaking to you, look at me. This is very familiar situation. So many times it happens in all homes. Parents will be speaking and the child will be looking somewhere else. I am Rapunzel. I haven't a care. Life in a tower is tranquil and rare. I'll certainly never let my bright hair down. Okay, so I am Rapunzel, that so beautiful creature. That creature was so happy. I haven't a care. I don't have any problems in my life. And it's so nice to live in a tower because there is nobody with me. I'm all alone. So it's so tranquil, peaceful, and rare. And I'll never put down my bright hair. I will never put my bright hair. Now I'm sure all of you know the story of Rapunzel. Rapunzel was a girl with very long blonde hair. She used to live in the castle, and only the way of coming into the castle was when she put her hair out and someone could climb through it. And actually she was cursed to live there. She couldn't go away from there, and at last the prince comes up using the hair and he rescues her from there. That's the story. So this girl is so fed up of people, so fed up of life, that she says, I'll never put out my hair, I'll never allow anyone to come in, because I want to live peacefully. Stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You're always so moody, Amanda. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. So again, that speaker continues. Don't sulk all the time. We all sulk, isn't it? When we get angry with someone, we keep quiet and we don't talk and don't talk and don't talk, so that they know that we are upset. So stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You're so moody all the time. You sit like this as if you're very sad and all that. And you have different moods at different times. And if anyone sees the way you're sitting, they'll think I'm nagging you. What's nagging? Going on, speaking to a person again and again and again to make them do what you want, to get what you want. Sometimes I think you are also guilty of nagging. When you want something from your parents, you will keep on asking them, please, 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 please. In the end, they'll say, okay, go and do whatever you want. So nagging. The way you're sitting, everyone will think I'm nagging at you, when I never do that, says the speaker. Now, actually, we saw that there was something in paragraphs, in the paragraphs that was within brackets, and there was so much part of the poem which is outside brackets. So it's obvious that part of the poem is outside brackets because in that a person is actually speaking, and the other part within brackets is what the person who's listening is thinking. So one is speaking and the other part is thinking. And one more thing that we have to notice, that the person who's speaking, they're using such harsh words, whereas within the brackets, we have very soft, peaceful, wonderful atmosphere there. So the child is so fed up of listening to instructions, commands, everything from her parent, that she has retreated into her own dream world where she's peaceful, and we know that she's fed up of all this that she hears because she always yearns for loneliness, to be alone, and she says, I'll never come out of my tower. So that shows how fed up she is. Similarly, we can get some more ideas. See, at the end, the speaker from the beginning till the end, she's going on telling the Amanda, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And then she says, if someone hears, they'll think that I'm nagging you. If someone sees the way you're sitting. Actually, she's doing that. She's nagging, isn't it? So that's the beauty of the poem, the irony of the poem. I'm sure all of you as teenagers sympathize with the feelings expressed here. As it's a poem, we do have to look into the literary devices. There's the use of emerald for emerald sea, green color, so it's metaphor. Emerald sea is said. Silence is golden. Again, it's said to be golden because it's sweet. Freedom is sweet. Taste, so freedom is compared to taste. Silence is compared to a color, and emerald sea. So all these are metaphors. Then you can find the word Amanda is repeated. There are other examples also of repetition in the poem which you can read and find out. Imagery. See, actually the poem is full of imagery. I'm a mermaid, drifting blissfully. Then I'm Rapunzel in my castle, and life in the castle is so sweet and nice. So all these, everything that I'm often walking on the streets, and she's speaking about golden silence. She's speaking about making images in this dust. So all these are imagery. alliteration also we have many examples. I've just put one or two example, one example here, but I'm sure you can find enough example of alliteration and imagery if you go through the poem. Now here onwards, children, in the 2 to 3 slides I've put your the question answers, so you can pause at each place and you can write down this in your classwork side. Don't forget, you have to write the name of the poem and the date in the index and the new page. After that you can go through these answers. Like the first one, who do you think Amanda is? It's obvious she's a teenager, so maybe, and a school child. So she may be between 14 to 17 years of age, because you have the reference to shoes, school shoes, probably homework, complete your homework, and acne. So all this gives an idea that she's a schoolgirl, a teenager. And who do you think is speaking to her? It's probably her mother, because it's typically mothers who say all these: clean your room, shoes, stop eating chocolates. So all these are usually said by mothers to their children. So maybe it's her mother speaking to her. And why are those stanzas given in parenthesis? Parenthesis means within brackets, because they are not being spoken out. They are with her silent conversation with herself. Then who's the speaker in stanza 2, 4 and 6? And do you think she's listening? The speaker is naturally in 2, 4 and 6 is Amanda. And it's obvious she's not listening, because what she thinks and what the other person says have absolutely no relation with each other. So do pause here and complete your classwork. What would Amanda do if she were a mermaid? She would dress blissfully in the beautiful sea. It's given in the poem. Is she an orphan? No, she's not an orphan. But she says that she's an orphan because she's probably fed up with being nagged. But I don't think it's a serious emotion. Maybe just at that moment she feels fed up and she says that. Do you know the story of Rapunzel? Why does she want to be Rapunzel? Rapunzel was a girl with very long golden hair. She was put in a castle, and the only way in which anyone could enter was if she put out her long hair out of the window. And Amanda wants to be Rapunzel so that no one will be there to trouble her. She could be all alone and she'll never put her hair out. What does the girl yearn for? Peace and quiet. Everywhere, wherever she speaks, she's saying, I'll be alone, I want peace, everything. So she's sensitive girl who's got fed up with all this that's happening, and she's escaping into her imaginary world. Do you think Amanda is sulking and moody? The mother feels she's sulking and moody because she's keeping quiet and not reacting. But it's not that. It's just that she's fed up of all this negativity and she wants to escape from that. That's all. Maybe she wants to go out and play, spend time with her friends. We don't know. Any work is incomplete without a homework. So we have homework coming up here. Luckily for you, the answer is also given. Please pause at each of these slides, complete your homework, and go ahead, because there's just 3 slides with some lines taken from the poem, extracts from the poem, and you just have those answers here. You can use them. If you enjoyed the poem, thank you for being with me.